My magazine's audience is specific and non-mainstream. Firstly, my magazine Amélioré is designed with women aged 16 and upwards in mind, but as previously mentioned, it's available to everyone who is willing to read it or is interested in the subject. For my socioeconomic demographic, I chose to go with an AB audience, but this magazine might also appeal to the AB C1 C2 audience because it's more on the accessible side of price ranges whilst presenting high quality content. To further develop my audience profiling using Young and Rubicam's 4C theory, I would say that my magazine is destined mainly for aspirers, those who seek to better themselves, and for succeeders who want to feel in control, but not mainstreamers because in my magazine I want to approach much deeper topics and create a warm and calm medium for women to feel safe in and be able to discuss their issues or even read about them without feeling any type of shame or guilt that they experience it. As far as theory goes, once again, I designed my magazine specifically to fit the personal identity aspect of the Blumbering Cat's uses and gratifications theory, rather than the diversion or surveillance which would mainly present gossips that spark interest in my young target audience. However, when it comes to Dennis McQuail, which is a more developed version of the previous mentioned theory, my magazine would still fit the personal identity and learning bracket, which includes confidence through gaining information, which in my case is exactly the point of my magazine. With that in mind and the explanation of my audience, I sincerely think that my magazine will have a positive and dominant reading when it hits the supposed market. Due to the fact that my magazine is a health and fitness magazine, I wanted to appeal to a certain audience which would make it more niche. Therefore, I used a glamorized style, starting with the font all the way to the lighting. I used a yellowish warm lighting. As far as representation goes, I used 5 models with different facial features and different hair types to try and create a bit of representation the best I could. Because the sample of models was from Romania, there wasn't a lot of diversion to choose from. Therefore, all of my models were white Caucasian. Linking this magazine to my case studies, which were Vogue, Elle, and Cosmopolitan, I would personally say that my magazine doesn't follow their pattern when it comes to content, but I took great inspiration from Vogue from the appeal and aesthetic, as Vogue is known as a very feminine and elegant magazine. Also from my case studies, I learned how to access and please a certain audience, in my case, women, by making the magazine relatable and inspiring through the choices I made when it comes to my articles and style of presenting the magazine. Relating the choice of my models to the theory I know, my choices fulfill the personal identity bracket of Blumbering Cats once again on the demographic of Romania due to the lack of diversity this country has, as previously mentioned. Because I used white women with different hair and different facial features, that could be considered common in this country. In the real world, my magazine would be marketed throughout yearly subscriptions being available to the readers, meaning that would be a copy every 2 months, resulting in 6 magazines a year, and constantly active social media pages that promote the issues that are upcoming and give teasers about the content discussed in the magazine. My magazine is only available in a physical copy because I want to further reject conventions. However, my magazine would be sold in bookstores in Romania like Hărturești, but globally speaking, I would sell it in corner shops as well if I got the chance, because I said I would like my magazine to be niche and not owned by Condé Nast or Hearst, but rather be individually owned. Personally, I would love for my magazine to be successful, as there isn't another magazine like this on the market that tackles actuality subject and report to the way different generations see them, therefore proving my point that a magazine like this deserves a place in the present industry.